Welcome back to a Windy City They Tan Watch, the channel where truth meets freedom, right here in the heart of Chicago. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our latest investigations, interviews, and insights. Your support fuels our fight for freedom and truth. So, let's dive into today's journey, armed with knowledge and the relentless spirit of the Windy City.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I feel poorly that I put you through that. I'll definitely practice with the YouTube live. I do like that camera better. I think that I can see the chat pretty easily in that space, but yeah, I'm just more comfortable right now with this setup, and I prefer the horizontal to the vertical. All right. Sorry, I made you all jump ship. We are coming up, we're north coming out of that Dearborn Park, and we'll be on Polk Street. We'll head back to the org, visit with Free Xenu. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lorraine. And thank you, Dee. I will figure out how to do the horizontal on the YouTube live piece. So I'm more comfortable with this, and I can frame people better in this. I just wish, if anybody knows somebody at StreamYard, tell them to give me pinch zoom. Thank you, Debbie. And Debbie and Dee, thanks for being members. I appreciate that support. I know you don't get a great deal of benefits, but it does help me, stay with my costs or understand my costs a little bit better. And you get to play with the Gotham emojis and the Chadwick emoji. I should make an Anastasia emoji, but again, other than the fact that she yawns at me, she's just a desk jockey in there and doing her job, although I think her job is evil. She's not the one body routing. I just don't have as much interaction with her. Oh. So here's yesterday's body router, I think. So, child in Scientology. So, staff member with child. I'm going to keep the child off as much as possible. But this is one of those tragic things, right? This is just tragic, right? Hand in hand with who I'll presume is a mother. And just a neighborhood who knows they're in the cult and just wanted to say hi. All right, I got to get my mood back up. Sorry, as she turned back, I saw the child's face turning around, and I just don't want to have the child's face on there. Hey, Nancy Allen. So right now we're following two staff members to work. One of them looks to be mother-daughter. So there's two staff members and a very small child. So you see Free Xenu up ahead. right, now I got to find a body router. I can't let them keep recruiting people. How tragic, right?
Is she 5?
Yeah, if that. And what was even more interesting, and it might have been a staff member that I don't recognize, but somebody was walking down the street and they recognized him, so they said hi, right? They were friendly, and it might have been a staff member, it might just be somebody in the neighborhood who knows these two people, but to have children that young walk into this organization is such a disgrace.
I agree.
So I had to switch my phone. Didn't charge correctly overnight. I didn't check it. So
Oh no, I hate that.
we'll see. Plus, I've got to figure out how to do YouTube vertical. I'm sorry, horizontal. And you have to do advanced before you go in, I think.
No, so what you do is, before you even hit the plus,
Yep.
you have to put it sideways.
Okay,
If you start it straight up and down, it's going to stay straight up and down.
gotcha.
But then also, once you get into that, also put it in horizontal.
Okay,
It's in the settings.
in the advanced, yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
I
that
think
there's
it's the
because
advanced
you get a message that says, "Hey, excellent, thank you so much."
I'm almost not willing to ask you how much your mic setup is because I looked at them and I think I do know how much they are.
I think it's 3+. Might be
That's
two, it
what
might
I
be two.
thought.
It might be 2.5, but it's either 2.5 or 3.5.
I'll have to find a different option. 'Cause
Now
that's not
that
what
one is basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be working as long as but my thing is I think I want to put it on the stick.
Possibly, yeah. And it's simple, just to clip it.
It's
You
a
just need.
microphone on a stick.
Yes.
Clip it. Well, I tried clipping on the front. Nobody can hear when I do that.
Right.
But they can hear when I do this. Why is that?
It might be distance, and also
Okay.
one thing is there a magnet on it?
There's a magnet on this. Oh, that's messing up. Oh,
This
I
kind of
never
f's
thought
up
about
stuff.
it. So
Like, definitely don't put the magnet here, because if you put the magnet here, it'll crash your gimbal, because there's a motor in here trying to.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering if I can.
But yeah, I've seen that, and then also maybe just figure out if there's a way you can put a piece of like a 3D printed piece over here, and I know we don't have 3D printers
Well, I could
or
just
elsewhere.
put one of those little, like, rubber band things there.
Yep.
But is there a magnet in here too?
Might be. I'm not positive.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone, let me know if you can hear him better right now.
Check. Because
Because I think I realized when I was having some problems with the mic, it's because there's a magnet right behind it.
Yeah. So I am 1 foot from 1.5 feet from FXP's mic right now.
So yeah, if you want to let me know in the chat if that works.
All right. So let's see. Now we're at noon.
That's totally up to you guys. I'm not asking for that. Oh, you can hear him well now. Awesome.
Nice.
So I think that's the problem.
Nice.
She goes, she's already been to and from her apartment, so I'm wondering if she's
She goes a lot,
Ooh, awesome, super.
and she'll wear a different uniform. Like she's had a shirt that said something about children and drugs.
Awesome. Thanks,
Before?
guys. Yeah,
Excellent. Love that. She had a shirt that about children and drugs. She doesn't like being on camera. She tries to hide her face as much as possible, but she always tries that door. And it's like, well, that door's locked. You're going to have to come past us. Or I can walk down there and film you in front of the door while you can't move. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I guess where I had the mic before was right by a magnet, which I wasn't even thinking about that, but microphones and magnets don't do well.
Correct. All right. You haven't seen him back yet?
No, but there was a guy in a black turtleneck that snuck around behind me. I think he parked behind me, but he went in. He had a black turtleneck, and that was it. Crew cut, looked like military crew cut.
Yeah. Then, and was he also black? Or
He was, I would say he had darker skin, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
yeah, person of color.
Well, no, I'm saying he had darker skin than white, but he wasn't like.
Yeah, might have been Mediterranean or. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I know what you're talking about as well.
Happy Memorial Day. Hope you can.
All right, I want to get back out in the neighborhood, see if we can find him. It is, again, noon, so still for the next 30 to 60 minutes, you should be seeing people coming in and out all the time. I want to look at your channel this morning, because I think we're going to get a good head count of day org, because you were out here so far ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the people that slipped in the back, I mean, there must have been, I don't know.
There was a lot.
Anybody in my chat know about? Hey, Claire, welcome. Does anybody in my chat know about how many people were coming into the org this morning, approximately? I know I didn't start doing a head count. Although it would have been cool. It would be cool if you could have, like, somebody that's a moderator, like, have head count and just,
Yes.
like, click it and just keep clicking it every time somebody popped in.
Yes. Something's going wrong here. This phone is now saying it doesn't have any battery. I'll let it go for a while. I can always change. Fortunately, I came armed today.
I was gonna say, you got a
So
backup battery?
I've got a battery. The problem with the battery though is I lose my mic because this power won't pass through. So I can power this.
This one is the power passes through.
That is nice.
But because it's passing through, it'll hold it where it is. So I found it was at 37%, and look what it is now. It's at 38, and that's been like almost 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I would definitely.
Hey, Joe Cool.
I think if my mic's working good now that I figured it out.
Thank you.
Actually surprised me.
I got a feeling that this phone is going to be a problem again on me. I've got to figure out what's going on with that. But just kind of to recap the day so far, Friesino was here first, and he was out here early today, and he saw a body router out there. And when he saw the body router out there, he chased him around a little bit. He was able to thwart him in the alley. I love when you can do that. So they'll walk out the back door, and they'll try to walk up the alley. And if you go up the alley, you can catch them, and they'll turn around, right? Then you hide at the end of the alley so they think you've left, and then you pop back out in the alley, and they turn around all dejected again. So it's just one of those fun things you get to do with these body routers. Now, I do think that there is a body router out there, and just like I caught up with them on Saturday, eventually I'll be able to find them today. Last night, I had a great interview with Mark Bunker, and he was able to show off some of the highlights of with Declared Dave, who had an interview with Mark Bunker, and we showed off those highlights, and then we showed off the highlights from Saturday's chat. One thing, so Joe Cole, I'll talk to you through the mic. I know I'll try to get a hold of you other ways as well, but one of the things I want to try and figure out is how do I lodge meaningful protests against the police when they're acting on behalf of the church? Even if it's just to fill up their jacket and they're not made public, I want them to know that people are noticing that you're being a terrible police officer and you're not upholding the policies of the public. So we're going to kind of peek around back real quick. We've got nobody out here right now. That's not a surprise. We will be seeing people come out for lunch. If you were watching, 5 minutes ago, you saw a staff member with her daughter, who must be 5 years old, both walk in there. And that's the scariest thing. And do you use COPA or do you use the police? That scary part is that child is going to, well, basically she's second gen, right? Because her mom's staff. She is probably going to be courted into Sea Org, billion-year org. She's going to go through purification. Purification is they put you in a sauna for up to 5 hours a day, and they slowly get you up to about 5,000 milligrams of niacin. Now, if you look at the daily recommended dosage of niacin, for an adult, it's between 48 and 50. So that is 100 times the daily recommended dosage for an adult that they're going to give to children in this space. And their claim is that's going to get rid of all the toxins. And once you get rid of all the toxins, then you can really start and learn to be a Scientologist. Yeah, that's kind of what I've noticed, that their COPA is very excited to take it, but eventually they have to hand it off to internal affairs, and I think it just dies a slow death there. So it's, yes, I do have a lot of documentation. Yes, I do want to keep on registering the complaints and making the FOIA requests on there. That's another one I need help with. So I keep on getting denied video on my FOIA requests. So I want to figure that part out, because when they go into the church and the church is telling them some story about activity that's happened out here on the street, I know they're being lied to, right? And my hope is that if we can get the video, we can hear the false stories that Scientology is telling the police when they bring them in. We're heading over to Dearborn. Now, again, this is a place where I see a lot of body routers. They will eat over here at the 7-Eleven. I'm just scanning up and down the streets to see if we can find who's out there. Since Friesino's in front, right, that gives us a little bit of pressure that they're not going to be able to sneak more people out the front. They can still sneak people out the back. Love that. I'll definitely take that contact. And again, I feel very confident that I'm able to put pressure or handle Scientology. It's really the police activities that they can somewhat get me stymied. There is the point where I know I'm right, but I still don't want to take the ride. And I need to figure out, how do we get rulings without having to go through the arrest process? This right here is a college dormitory. The only thing that's important to be into this, you have to be a student at one of the 5 local colleges to be in here. We are 2 blocks away from the, well, 2.5 blocks if you kind of count that you have to walk up the block to get here. That's another just cluster of young minds that the church has access to. And they're going to give them, the brochures that I collect are, the way to happiness. It's going to tell you, hey, honor your parents, be a good person, the golden rule. So L. Ron Hubbard had no new ideas. He stole from any number of earlier philosophers and religious zealots. And you see that book, and it's like, well, that doesn't sound that harmful, right? I can get behind an organization like this. That one I do know that, and I try to say, are you going to arrest me, right? And them just saying they're going to arrest me, my understanding is that invokes action. And at that point, I can then walk away from the problem. But all I'm going to do then is get into a 1983 with them. And my understanding is those are hard. It's hard to win in 1983. Although it does help me go to the police department and say, hey, I was threatened for arrest for a non-arrestable offense or for a non-offense period. Yeah, what I've found in my history with the police, as well as the Scientologists, is they'll speak from an authoritative point of view, even though they're absolutely wrong. And we typically, as the public, will accept what they're saying unless we know the law as well. So things like, you're trespassing on this private property. Well, there was no agent of the organization there to be able to trespass you. The police can't trespass you unless they have a written cert on file that says the owner of the property grants them that access. But if they're pushing you and you're there in the moment and you see a man with a gun and handcuffs, it becomes a little bit more challenging to hold your ground, right? We've seen it just as simple as the signs, right? That, what are you going to do if I don't take the signs down? Well, then we'll give you a citation. If we don't give you a citation, or after we give you the citation, we'll arrest you. And I'm just not, I don't want to sit in jail for 5 hours when I could be out here trying to find or prevent them from being able to recruit new people. I think my time is more valuable out here than it is sitting in jail. Yeah, Joe, it was really great when you came out, and I'm glad that you really introduced yourself to all of the protesters out here, and it was great. We had eight or nine protesters out here on Saturday. We're coming up on Michigan Avenue. There is there's a convention going on at the Hilton Convention Center, and look up IML 40. By the way, don't do it if you're at work. But it's an interesting crew, and I've come across this just accidentally several times when I've been down here. So I do still photography as well a lot, and I was just down here filming architecture, and I caught a lot of interesting people in leather-clad outfits. So now we are at Michigan Avenue. Kind of want to scan the horizon here to see if I can find the gold vest, right? We know that the thinner black male is out in his gold vest today, so it's usually easy to see those with the gold vest and the white shirt, the white dress shirt underneath. We were here earlier today, but right. So the building next to the Church of Scientology are the students housing, one of the places where students house for Columbia College. This is an actual classroom, and this happens to be the photography classroom. Columbia College is mostly a liberal arts and theater school. And here's the bookstore. So Scientology made a good choice. They put their church in a very dense, high foot traffic space. And L. Ron Hubbard always said that these organizations should be in high foot traffic locations so that you can do this recruiting. One second, I want to check and see how fast my battery is sinking. Yeah, I'm going to have to switch over to, I'm going to plug in the phone. So I'm going to get we'll get a little bit of sound quality degradation here. But I'm going to set you guys down and pull out a battery pack. I'm not finding the body routers yet. It's not TikTok, it's YouTube. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do know him as well. So yeah, so he does like vlog of the area. I love him.
Yes, I'm always watching too as well, so I thought it was probably
Nice. I have another channel that does exactly that.
What's your name on there?
So on that, it's Windy Wanders the City. That's my vlogging space. This one, I'm against the Church of Scientology. So I don't know if you know anything about Scientology.
Yeah,
but
I've heard about it,
yeah.
yeah.
And they're out here. They'll pass out flyers as far down here.
Passed the other day, passing out like $5 bills inside there.
Nice. Oh,
it's crazy.
that is, yeah, shameful. So are you okay being on film or on camera? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm too shy.
I'm just gonna recite for my audience what you said. So are you parking?
Yeah, parking.
Okay. So there's a parking valet here, and he said that he's seen the Scientologists down here, and what they'll do is they'll slip a $5 bill inside of the flyer when they're trying to pass it out. So again, it's just these deceptive practices that are ridiculous that this organization goes through. And by the way, anytime that you can stop them from doing that, do it, right?
Yeah,
let people know it's a cult. Well, also don't let them come into your building.
I know it's a cult for sure. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of them and everything.
The if you look up Windy City ThetanWatch, and I know it's going to be challenging to remember that.
Look it up for sure, because I mean, I see Brian's videos off every day.
Okay.
I mean, I'm always watching them.
If you ever see them, if you email me, I can be down here very quickly.
Okay.
So
For sure.
I want to always be able to stop them when
Windy
they're
City
doing that. Windy City Thetanwatch. Look at Windy City Wanders. Windy Wanders the City.
Windy Wonders of City.
That's an easier one to find. I think you'll remember that one more.
Yeah, Windy Wonders of City.
Oh, you know what? Why don't I take a picture of it? So if you have a camera.
Yeah, of course. Because I know Brian usually he's over there by the Pendra on that side a lot, over there by the more up north.
Good morning. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, let me stop that. Oh. Stop that. All right, I'll go to this instead. Nope.
Probably gotta close it.
Yeah. How about we do that?
Yeah, I took a picture of that.
Hide the,
Check it
yeah,
out for
I
sure.
just want to hide the number there.
Oh, okay, got you.
Okay, you're good.
I don't think it came out either way.
Good.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't think it came out.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you around, boss.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe Cool. Now, folks, the Windy Wonders is, I just kind of go around. I love this city, and I like to show off the architecture. Many of the times, right, as we close a protest video, you're going to see me wander up one of the central business district streets, and I'll tell you as much history as I know about these buildings that are out here, and just what a great city this is. And you know, we've said it before, I hate that there was a big fire here, but that fire reset the playing field, and everybody was able to do whatever they wanted to in regards to architecture. So that's why Chicago really is the heart of all new architecture. Well, I'll say that nowadays there's more of it in Asia, but Chicago was where you came if you wanted to learn how to do architecture. I'm going to set you guys down for just a second on a pedestal, and I'm going to pull out a battery pack. I'm going to pull the battery. Sorry about this. I know I came less than prepared today. Hopefully you'll forgive me. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is up to 60%. So you know what? I might try. Let me try and do that. Jerk. All right, I'm going to turn off the other one real quick. Okay. You got that right. Thank you, Fuzzy Pink. I'm going to set you down again. Sorry you have to look at my miserable face. You'll get used to it. I need to switch the gimbal stand too. All right, and let me get you on the back camera. All right, we should be good to go for a little bit. I might have to go and see Mr. Apple about why the battery is dying so quickly on that one phone. I'll have to check and see what's running in the background on there too. Sorry, trying to, let me set you down for again. All right, here we go. We're on the move. Something to remember, or something I want to call out Frizzino Project for. And remember, he's out in front of the org right now. I'm so happy for him. He was able to get 2 flyers off of a victim that the body routers passed out to. So historically, he's been able to watch me, and he's seen me do it. But I love that he actually got the opportunity to get his own propaganda. Going past Buddy Guy's legend. Again, the great thing about blues, there are no bands. There's just people to get together and play music. I love that about Chicago as well, that if you tell me what kind of music you like, I can tell you 2 places where they play that music live. Now, I don't love all of those kinds of music, but I love the fact that there's live music here. Again, Jones College Prep is the building that we're going to dead into up here. Yeah, FXP is, yeah, his stats are up for the week, that's for sure. Jones College Prep is where I caught the body routers on Saturday. And they were passing out Way to Happiness. They tried to duck into the library. I went into the library and informed the security there that there were 2 people from Scientology in there with flyers to pass out. That kind of pressured them to leave the library. And then I was able to thwart them from passing out flyers in more spaces. So eventually she came back to the org and she had to go across the street and put her staff uniform on. I have had an influx of subscribers, and by the way, I love it. Thank you so much. That's all it really takes. I need the people to show me that what I'm doing is effective, and I appreciate that. And the likes and the subscribes, by the way, there's a discount on subscriptions today. If you subscribe today for a limited time only, they're free. So all subscriptions today will be free. Yeah. You know, with that statement, Sally, it's I don't think they tell the audience who will be the happy party. Jones College Prep it's what's called a magnet school here in in Chicago, and by that you can go to a magnet school and not live near the magnet school, but you need to test into it. And this is typically at the top of the list for most sought after. Now, you've got other schools out there as well, Gordon Tech, Lane Tech, that are out there in magnet schools as well. Whitney Young, I think, is very high up there on that list. All right, sometimes I'm sarcastic, but it is that reminder to tell everybody that subscriptions are free. Thank you, Lorraine. We're going to head back to the org because for the next 30 minutes, we should be seeing people returning from lunch. Howdy, Ann. Absolutely no need to be sorry. I'm a big fan of dry humor. I think Bob Newhart was the funniest man alive. And it was because he had such dry humor, and I tend to try and emulate that. Please don't take that to think that I'm as good as Bob Newhart. Whoever's keeping track of puppies, it just went up by 3. Red Skelton was not dry humor. My understanding is if you ever caught Red Skelton outside of a big audience, he was a very funny and filthy mouthed comedian. Here we see another staff member coming across the street right now. They might take a hard left and go to Imprint. They might walk past me. Anything positive to say about the church? As you can see, there's nothing positive about this church. I've gotten a bit of a criticism on the idea that why do I ask them if it's a church? My expectation is they're not going to answer if I ask them if it's a church, but I think I'm being very confrontational if I ask them if it's a cult, and I should never expect an answer in that situation. So I do tell the public it's a cult and to beware, but I'm never going to engage a Scientologist if I'm telling him he's in a cult, him or her. Thank you, Lori. And Lori is our newest member. She was on last night's panel when I was talking with Declare Dave, and we were reviewing what went on in the week between the two channels. I love this. It looks like Frizino has engaged somebody. I think it's CTA. Not sure. So copyright. Paisans usually plays their music kind of loud, so I want to be careful on there. I loved that so much. Wait, isn't it Larry and Daryl? Yesterday, I apologize, I keep saying yesterday, it was Saturday. So Saturday, I engaged a person who was wiping tables right here, and I asked him if he knew anything about his neighbor. And he said, oh, I don't know anything about that. And very quickly, the manager of Paisans, right? So Paisans is 100% in bed with Scientology. This is not just somebody being a good neighbor. They're bending over backwards. They're letting people pass through this restaurant to get to the alley. So we saw the manager come out of the store very quickly and try to get me away. Now, I was on a public sidewalk and piss on him for wanting me to not talk to somebody in public. But that's the situation. Oh, there's our body router. So he's back from lunch. That's good. Now within 30 minutes.
That guy's not a Scientologist. He just does dynamic.
Yep. Anything positive to say about the church?
Don't run. We can help you get out, man. Gotta find a different way to
100%. Yeah, the stolen valor of this organization is ridiculous. So tell me a little bit about, wait, let me get Mr. Microphone out. Who is the one you were just talking to?
That guy does dynamics training.
Okay.
Because it helps him. And I said, how much do you pay for that? And he goes, oh, it's like $30. I said, what if it gets up to 200, 400, 1,000? And he goes, well, if it works. I'm like, and he asked me, oh, you saying Dianetics doesn't help people? And I said, I'm saying there are tools in Dianetics that help people, but they're not from Dianetics. I'm like, once you really get into it, it's indoctrination, and it's a cult.
Yep. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch that interview on Freeze Unit Project that he was able to talk to somebody in Scientology and taking the Dianetics course. And again, as we've said, you're an adult. You think you're getting benefit from it. That's great. I do like that what Freeze Unit said was that the pricing is going to escalate. So,
yeah,
I can say that too.
I mean, if nothing in it ever helped anyone, nobody'd do it.
Yeah. And I've tried to explain to everybody, at the lowest levels, it's an innocuous self-help organization. And that's not a terrible thing. The terrible thing is that they then leverage those small wins that you have in the earliest stages and start to escalate, right? The idea that, okay, cool. You know what? You should probably also think about taking this course. And now this course costs a little bit of money. And you should also take this book. And you're going to be pressured. Every time you take a course, by the time you leave the building today, they're going to ask you to sign up for the next course, right? When you buy a book, by the time you're done reading that book, they're going to ask you to buy the next book.
They'll ask you to buy books for courses you weren't even in the vicinity of taking.
Right.
And here comes the father with his 3 kids.
Yeah. So I don't want to put these kids on camera, but we're about to see. Children can't consent. You're abusing these children. You should not be putting them through purification rundown.
Somebody can get these children out before it's too late.
I'm going to say I'm glad that we're not celebrating you on Memorial Day, and that on Veterans Day I definitely will think about you. But I do want to celebrate your friends today as Memorial Day for all of the fallen members of the military. All gave some gave all.
I've been asking people about what they think about David Miscavige and the Church of Scientology being on trial right now.
I bet they have no idea that the Church of Scientology is on trial.
I know they don't,
Yeah.
but the fact that I'm asking...
Correct, yeah,
like,
they'll, yeah, well, let me look on the internet, right? That is definitely a hope or a goal.
If they're Seared members, they probably won't look it up on the internet.
Anything positive to say about the church? Is there anything positive about your cult?
That's phone tap. That's fake phone call tap. How long are you...
I probably got another couple hours. I'll stay until the phone dies, and I don't know why it didn't charge. Let me see if it's holding a charge better right now. Yeah, it's definitely holding a charge better. So I must have plugged it in and not checked to make sure it was charging. What I do have is, since I have the other phone, but it doesn't have as strong a battery, I'm going to get used to running this phone until it dies, and then play with the other phone while it's charging.
Oh, I got something right now. That'll work. Look at that. Windy.
Yep. Nice. Well done.
I never thought about that. I could have put it on the front of my hat, too.
Yep. You'll cross-contaminate it a little bit, though. Now, I know people that put the DJI mic, which the same thing there, that instead of putting it on your chest, you can put it on your hat, and then you can pick yourself up better. So the guy right there, he just brought 3 kids in, and now he's leaving. Right? Now, I'm sure that it's the, yesterday, Friday, when we talked to Natalie, the idea that if you're on staff, a lot of times one of the people in the couple will have a traditional job where they're able to make enough money to support you, and then you'll join staff. So what this looks like is this person is probably the normal job or the regular job, and I apologize to characterize things as normal and not normal, but earns a decent living salary, and then his wife can be a member of, or a staff member at the Church of Scientology. Yeah, that didn't go well.
That's all right. I got it.
Okay.
But at least I didn't fill it first.
Yeah. Just for fun, I'm going to head down here. I think that we've got 30 minutes before the body routers start coming out again. Kind of going over the day. Free Xenu started the day great. He was able to kind of hem in the body router, kept him in the back alley so he couldn't come out. They eventually went down to the other side of the alley and were able to get out into the neighborhood. But he did also capture 2 flyers for Dianetics. Yeah, I don't. Is it a welfare check? Could I just do a welfare check right now? Although I don't understand if I have any probable cause to tell the police that they need to go in and make sure that the kids aren't on purification. They could be there just being babysat for their mom. Now we do think it's purification, but I don't know if I would have anything to back it up. I don't think there's anybody down there, but I haven't done our typical garbage can check real quick. And last night, Declared Dave gave me a good idea that should we be calling waste waste management to let them know that their dumpsters are being locked. You know what? Thank you, Exiled. I conflated that. I was thinking CPD, but you were saying Chicago Public Schools. Absolutely. And I do have kind of a monthly reminder chat with them to say, make sure you're not putting in applied technology in the school. And I worry about that because on opening day, one of the leaders of the community was a CPD, I'm sorry, a Chicago Public Schools high-ranking official. Again, we're coming to the back of Scientology. We've got the roll-down door, never been open. This one, they'll jimmy it open every once in a while. And it is my assumption, presumption, I'll say with good, my prediction with a high probability, this wall right here continues through forward. So if you walk in the door on the left, you've got to go pretty far into the building before you can cut across and come back out to the door on the right. So that can kind of be hidden from the people in there that you've been jimmying the door open. But a lot of people come out, they jimmy the door open, they open their, they smoke their cigarette, and then they go back in. This door is also locked. This will take you, if we're looking in the front window, you would see straight through to this door. And again, if they open up this door, we would see the front window. There are those two aisles that make up that main floor of the church. And this, that's the, if you're facing the building, that's the right-hand aisle. So right now, we're down here and there is no chain on the dumpster. I'll bet it's on the side here, yeah. So, right, they store the lock here. You can see the SPTV Foundation sticker behind it. Again, the Church of Scientology has staked their claim to this dumpster. It is full. That looks like food. They do have a shredder. I'm trying to see if I see evidence of shredded documents. I see no evidence of documents in the first place, and I have no desire to go through any of that that trash. That's not my forte. And then we continue down the alley. If you look over the wall here, I've told you before, but this is a ComEd transmitters, not transmitters, the station that helps take high-level electricity down to retail level of electricity. There was a door held open there, but again, that door is for the residential area for these apartments right here. Love seeing the emojis being taken, people practicing, exercising them. Yeah, my guess would be that we'd get in trouble quickly there on that process. Howdy, Cubs. Cubs is a great channel, principally out in Boston. You'll see him in some other East Coast cities, but I think you're just going to see him mostly in Boston. And Cubs Champion 16 is the end of our, 110-year drought. Chicago has a really neat program where buildings can offer their buildings as canvas, and then artists can apply to paint those buildings. So there is a mural element. Yeah, you're right. Chalking it would be a good idea. I would say you want to be doing it outside of the visibility of cameras. And be careful, they have really good cameras. But that would be fun some night to get some ladders a little bit higher up, so it'd be a challenge to do that, work off some scaffolding. Here's a Scientologist with 3 pins. I'm going to take a picture of my regular phone because I can blow that up better. I'm very curious to see what these pins are. Copyright, 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 copyright. It's not that loud right now, but I don't want to take a chance. Yeah, so the black woman is coming down the alley or the sidewalk. Yeah, correct. And I'm not advising anybody of anything. Okay. So Friezuna was able to confront the father who dropped off the 3 children earlier. Didn't really get it. He got basically a non-response. At the top of the hour, I'll start camping out to see if we can catch the body router because he's probably going to want to go out again. Just want to take pictures of.
I was curious what you feel about David Miscavige.
Folks, I don't know if this is going to show up there, but this person had 3 pins on. One of them, the bottom one, I think is Hubbard Communication. I don't know if you really can make heads or tails of the other 2. So, declared Dave saying IAS pins. Actually, Chicago schools are still in session. It's bizarre. I think they go through like the 2nd week of June here in Chicago. Yeah, Patrick, did you see those pins? Yeah, I'll put them up one more time. It's funny. I took the photo at an angle, and I just tried to turn my phone to get a better angle. So, how foolish of me to think that I could change the angle of that original photo. But that was the first time I've seen 3. I've seen 2 pins before, and I've seen the topmost pin quite frequently. Just don't know. I'll take Dave's word on that bottom pin, whether it's Hubbard communication or Dianetics. They're principally the same thing. And then I have no idea what the other two are. Oh, is that the S with the two triangles? Yeah, I can kind of make out the two triangles.
I don't know about that because, like, as far as I know, they always record, but I don't know if they tell you this. I know they told Tom Cruise, or was it Tom Cruise? Or,
yeah, they told him he wasn't, but he
wasn't, but he definitely did play recording. Although Tom might actually know it, and that could be why he didn't pursue anything after his daughter Suri.
Yeah, very possible. Sorry, I'm playing with the gimbal there a little bit. Just want to change it. The one that I just saw this one leaving, right? So she was leaving a while ago. She said nothing to me on Polk. Oh, here comes skateboard guy. Anything positive to say about your church? By the way, that's not how skateboards work, to the best of my knowledge. Howdy, Selma.
I mean, I often go by churches where people are sneaking in and hiding.
Michael, this is why I love having you in my chat. I can't Google while I'm filming, but I will look those up tonight. And Selma, I know a little bit of Afrikaans, and my understanding is that I can sometimes understand Dutch because they're so closely related. We've got a Nation of Islam woman coming down the street. If you look on my WindyCityThetanWatch.com or WCTW.live, there's a post on org members, and this woman coming down. Yeah, 100%. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can get a better picture, because you're looking at the picture through the film too. I'll post that picture online. But this woman is a self-confessed Nation of Islam woman, as well as a Scientologist. Yep, I'll do that in just a second. Anything positive to say about the church? How has the church helped you? My audience would love to know how the church is helpful. It's just not helpful? Understood. Let me see if I can bring the image up again. So, oh, now I got a terrible glare on it. Sorry. But those are the 3 pins that I've got. Yeah. 40. So there's a lot in there today because it's a work day to them. They don't have holidays. So hopefully you guys are not getting distracted by them and getting all their propaganda. Absolutely, that's what I'll end up doing. Absolutely, always. They're always interpolated. Now, I will say, the security guard here says that we're the ones that are the distraction, and so I asked those students if they're being distracted by these people, and the security guard said that we're the distraction. And it's like, well, we're the ones that are trying to protect this community against the deceptive practices of this cult that lives next door to them.
You want me to go over there and show them that excerpt from Dianetics that says that children of 7 or girls of 7 should not shy away from a kiss of a man, not even a passionate one?
You can try to. I don't know how much they'll do. So there's a skateboard guy going down the street. And another tall young kid. We've seen him quite a bit.
He's gonna go through pizza.
We'll see if he goes through the pizza place or not.
No, he's gonna go through
Yeah.
and then he's gonna go in the back door. Can I ask you what you feel about
David Miscavige, Squirrels Tech. The Church of Scientology should not fundraise. LRH. Are you okay that David Miscavige is squirreling LRH's technology?
You know he's changing his words, right? That would be cool.
What time is it now? About 10 minutes.
So I don't know what I was doing with this, but somebody I was interviewing
Yep.
walked over and it moved. I had it on a stand. I'm like, how did that work that way?
I don't know that in YouTube you can, but if you use the DJI tool, it will try to phase track.
I don't even have that app on. We can help you get out, sir.
So here's what I think is going on here. He just went into his purification, so he's in the sauna, and now he's going to come back for his coursework. So he's picking up his coursework, and he's going to take his coursework in. Good time on the purification rundown? Taking 100 times what any medical doctor will tell you in.
Don't poison yourself. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And if you get cans, throw them on the ground and stomp on them. That's Jenna Miscavige approved.
Nice. So the guy that came out to his car, and again, I was crammed by Declared Dave. He was most likely in there on purification rundown. So he was doing sauna when he first went in. And then he came back out. You know, it's a cult, right? Women can't report crimes. Are you okay with that? Women can't report sexual abuse against them in this organization.
And here I thought she was going in.
So he would have been coming out now with the Target bags. So Target's right there. That's why.
Oh, that's right. They can't afford to have it.
The gentleman that came out here, he would have gone in and he was probably in the sauna, and then he came back out to do his coursework. So he had to come back out and get his books to do his coursework.
Yeah, they might have been having time.
Yeah, I will say this. If I do get contact, I will call. Now, we know that the police are going to say, well, if you guys weren't on the sidewalk, that wouldn't happen. And I say, well, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. A person walked into me. Period. Full stop. I want him arrested for assault.
Yeah, but if you call the cops on them, they wouldn't
Correct.
come.
Absolutely correct.
They wouldn't show up. And say, oh, we stopped by at 4 in the morning the next day.
Yes. Yeah, it only took him 90 minutes to get to me. All right, I'm going to post up at the top of the street. Within 5 minutes, they should be coming back out for.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a feeling that this might be a. Oh, no. How dare you? My boob's as dangerous as I want to make it. Seeing a squad car come down. I'm kind of just posting up here. If anybody's scanning both channels, if you see a body router come out the front door, please let me know. Kind of got a post up here. Now, what I was trying to express to FXP, every once in a while they're going to try and come down the alley this direction, right? And eventually they'll quit, or else they'll go out the other end, right? They'll go out the south end. And if they go out the south end, then I have to make up 2 blocks in order to catch them. I've been 50-50 on that, right? So what I'm suggesting is that if they do start coming up this alley, that we should go, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's the one-way sign and the do not enter sign. If we go sit there, I don't think they'll see us, and they'll have to walk past us. If they're going north into the business district, they'll walk past us. Or if they go down Harrison, they'll pass us. And at that point, we're behind them, and they have to walk past us to get back to the org. Right? I like to make them get far away from the org and do the walk of shame, rather than be able to just kind of go in and wait us out, because eventually we'll miss them. Right? Hey, and Patrick, thank you for being in last night on the Declare Dave chat. Very helpful. You, no one, and oh darn it, the cowboy hat picture. All people have had experiences with Scientology and know far better than us. That's why we really rely upon them an awful lot. And they're incredibly helpful to all of the channels. I love the information that they're able to share with us. It's a fairly nice day out here in Chicago. It's still overcast. There's a little bit of a breeze. Here you can never really tell what the real breeze is because, yes. I love that when Dave calls you his cramming officer. There could be a very light wind here in Chicago, and if you're behind the wrong building, you can get knocked over if you come around the corner. And then there's other days where you'll see that there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and you're somewhere down here, and it's like, what wind? There's nothing. You could drop a tissue and it would fall to your shoes. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Do you know if you went south or if you went north? Or she? Sorry, I'm assuming it's going to be the young black male. I saw the young skateboard kid with the white shirt and the black tie. I don't see anybody else down there. Across the street real quick, see if they're on the other side of the street. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing the router. So, oh, okay. Is she in a dark suit or is she in a vest and shirt? Yeah, just an update. We have not seen Chadwick since at least a week before the trial. This morning, FXP was asking a lot of questions of the staff members. Hey, is Chadwick still on days here? Hey, Zenu, across the street. Free Zenu. Did somebody come out? Okay. I saw another puppy, but I gave you another one. I'm going to take your not north to be south. Huh? Was she in a suit or was she, sorry, let me look up. I see some people give me a couple more information. Okay. Folks, we could use 6 or 7 more people out here all the time. It's always more helpful when we kind of keep them boxed in. I'll try to look around the corner and see if we can find anything here too. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody in my, I can see for 3 blocks right now. I want to tell you that if you can get, near an org that does sidewalk recruiting, it's actually kind of fun to, thwart their efforts. The woman that just walked out of Imprint, she's heading over. She's the one that always tries to go in the wrong door. Yeah, Fort Harrison for him, huh? It's funny. So she didn't want to walk past Free Zeno, so she walked up to the other door. You can see that you can't see because my camera sucks, but she held a piece of paper over her face so that Free Zeno couldn't get her on film. The person in front of me is the person that was likely in for a purification rundown and then came back out to get his books. I am merely walking north on this sidewalk. I'm going to get back up to the top of the alley. Just don't think I'm going to be able to find whoever walked out the front. And Frizinu kind of said that she walked back in, but I don't know if he was watching the same thing. Now, one thing to remember, what you'll want to be able to see is that a body router will either have their hand full of flyers or a satchel over their shoulder. The free movie tickets are just a single sheet of paper, and it's actually just a third of a sheet of paper. The Way to Happiness is a 74, 75 page pamphlet. So they carry those in a satchel. And when they did CCHR, they did that in a satchel. And when they did the drugs and drogas, it was in a satchel. So those are kind of the cues. Yeah, that's a shame that what's really happened to Clearwater. It's no longer a reasonable city, right? Now I know that if you don't have to be anywhere near downtown, that's fine. But the downtown area has been overcome by Scientology. And George kind of did warn us when he was up here a couple of weeks ago that their tactic is they're going to pay 4 or 5x asking prices just so that they can start buying stuff up. Now there may become a point in time where they'll depress the property values so much here that there won't be colleges and universities here anymore. All right, just noticed a permit that it rained on it, so I don't know why it's there. So from the 13th to the 22nd, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., there's no parking for the entire block. It's very possible that's going to be a filming situation for that long of a period of time. So here we are at the top of the alley. We're looking down here. Yeah. Right. When I remember when George was here, we also talked about the West Pullman, and Pullman had the company town on the south side of Chicago. You got paid 100 thingamajiggers, and your rent and groceries would cost 105 thingamajiggers. And if you were worthy of a raise, you get up to making 150 thingamajiggers, and then all of a sudden your rent and the cost of living would go up to 160 thingamajiggers. So it's just one of those ways that it was slavery without the term, right? And you would get in so much debt that you couldn't get out of the bondage. Yeah, I thought I saw her. So dark. It looked like she had free hands. But yeah, she was wearing the dark suit. Howdy, Kelly. Sorry, reading a few emails. So today, Free Zeno's had a great day so far. He was here really early. He must have caught 30 or 40 people entering the org. I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch that tape because it just shows the number of people that are in this organization. And Chicago is not a backwater organization for Scientology anymore. He also was able to kind of play cat and mouse with one of the body routers. They tried to come out in the alley, and he caught it. Well, they tried to come out the front door. He pushed them back in. When I say push, his mere presence scares Scientology enough that they retreated inward. Then he went out to the alley and tried to come up the alley, and Friezinu was able to stop him up here. And then he walks back, and Friezinu played my old trick of you hide behind this little, right, this gate here on this garage. If you hide behind it so that they can't see you through the alley, they'll turn around and come back this direction. Oh, I didn't know. Kelly, great to see you. I did not know that's who we were seeing. I think I came back, I came over last night while you were streaming. Yes, Intuitive Inquirer. Now I recognize it. He was able to then later on, he was able to make contact with two people that received flyers, and he got those back. So now he's able to say he's been able to take flyers out of the victim's hands. Then I kind of went out searching for staff members. I didn't find any. We did find somebody who works for one of the hotels over by Hilton, and they had told us that, yeah, the Scientologists are down there, and they will sometimes entice people with money. Now, I'm going to say that's an interesting claim. Scientology is not likely to spend money, hard cash, to entice people to come and look at a video. So there's somebody walking up the alley at the far end. I think I know who that is. Yeah, he's, well, I'll say middle-aged, although it's not fair for me to say anybody's name, age or anything like that. But he's just somebody who works on staff here. I don't see him outside much. I only see him going to and fro. Yeah, I like the idea. Now, I won't know all of the names, so we're definitely going to need either under the radars or ex-Scientologists who are here to put some names on it. But if you do go to WCTW.live, there's a post that says the Chicago staff, right? And those aren't in the wild photos. Those are their social media photos. So I've been able to find a lot of people through Facebook. But I do think it's an important element that there are so many people that are hidden. Was it 2 weeks ago that somebody saw somebody on a live and said, "Oh my gosh, that's my sister or my relative"? I don't remember exactly what that was. Again, there's 200 channels of SPTV, so it's hard to keep all of them straight. But somebody found somebody on the channel. So the guy coming up the street, he dumped something out in the dumpster before he walked into the org. Yeah, thank you, Hallie. Helgier is mentioning that Korn was thinking about doing that, and Korn has done it as a community post. So she'll keep on. I keep on seeing community posts of people that she's got photos of. Hey, what's our dog count up to now? Yeah, it was something. I was going to say twin, but it's like, that sounds just too miraculous. But there was something of that nature, and it's how I think it was how we saw Bob Ferris, and then there was just a random sighting of Laura's father, right? That had to have been so challenging for Laura that, oh my gosh, that's my dad. Hallie Gear was one of the people out here on Saturday. We had Hallie Gear, we had Corn Freak, Nance Drew, Never in Nana, Friezinu was out here. I'm going to always say Israel because he lets me call him that. And I know that he spells it a little bit differently, or says it a little bit differently. Nothing. So I can see Friesinu's walked up the street a little bit. Yeah.
I just started to ask people if they thought about what they're going to do when Scientology raises their taxes up there.
Yeah. You know what? I'd be surprised if many of them know that they're tax exempt. But it's still, you're right, it's still a good question to ask. But the idea that these people are so isolated from what's happening in the real world.
I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah, that was awesome.
How long are you going to be here?
I'll stay. You think about heading home right away, or
No.
okay? Tell you what, I might stay for another. Let's see if we can find it. If anybody goes out in 15 minutes, great.
All right.
Otherwise, we'll head off. But if you want to, I'd like to get a sandwich or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I'll let you know that.
Yep.
Come over here.
Thank you. All right, so we put a bit of a timer on ourselves. If we see somebody in 15 minutes, we'll go ahead and follow them. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and end the streams and see if we can send you guys off to some of the other streams out west. And 2 more on the dog count. That's awesome. I appreciate that. And yeah, the mods do the most work. That's probably, Kelly, that's probably an old flyer. There's 2 things. It's either an old flyer for the invitation to the actual Chicago opening, or what they've been doing is taking the their edited film of what they filmed here on the Chicago opening, and they're playing that around at other orgs. We know that we've seen it in a couple of different orgs so far. I think they played it in Toronto. They replayed the Chicago opening. They're probably replaying the Austin opening. It's just a good PR thing to get out there. So I would guess it's one of those 2 things. That it's either an old invite to the actual opening of Chicago, or it's a invite to a let's watch the Chicago opening again. If you remember in the earliest days, there used to be some graffiti on this wall. It has been since taken down. It was a circular piece of artwork. And I think that it was referred to as Xenu several times. Yeah, the idea is, and I'm, in my opinion, your mileage may vary, all of those fun little disclaimers. They have so few winning moments that they really have to take advantage of the smallest things, and to repeat it several times over and over again. It's really the only thing they can do to continually keep their members excited about what's going on in the Church of Scientology. Okay. Could you tell if she had anything in her hands, or? Because if they're just going over there won't be much that happens. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can give them a false sense of security, and I'll stay out of the back alley for a bit. I'll just keep my eye open up here. Sorry that I'm putting the porta potty in your frame. Now, one of the things that I kind of want to share is that Aaron showed one of my clips of me being able to take the propaganda off of two people who'd been received from the body router. And he had mentioned several things about body routing or sidewalk recruiting. And a lot of it was, it's possibly not effective, but it is still the most effective because nobody's coming here from internet. If you're on the internet, you're going to do other searches. So it's really challenging for you to get somebody to come in from internet because if they find you, they're going to find anti-you all over the place. And we just had another one head over to the apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one in the apartment. That was the girl that looks really young. And I say that, I'm not young myself, but some of these kids are starting to look younger and younger.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, she had to go over there. But what I was going to wonder was, if they lose their tax exempt status, will they have to take this part of their sign on that says church?
Nope. Because remember, you can be a church and not be tax exempt. Tax exempt is just a charitable status. And the government explicitly can't say what is and what isn't a church. I mean, that's separates the church and state. So that's one of the reasons why it's so challenging for the government to kind of come at them, because we're not supposed to define what churches are in this space. But
Well,
you
can
you
we
see,
define what a cult is?
yeah. Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, is there anything on the books against cults?
Well, I don't know that there's nothing against cults, right? So legally, I don't think there's anything against a cult. It's the activities that a cult does that are illegal.
Of course.
So if you were to hold somebody hostage, then I can create the claim that, hey, you're holding me hostage. And it's not because you're a cult, it's because you're holding me hostage.
But it's our belief to do that. They help you out.
Yeah, now those are things, your belief can't be illegal. So, hi, Izzy. She turned. So that one that just walked in was Izzy. I don't know who the person walking behind her was.
I'm not sure, but it seems like. How you doing, gentlemen?
If you want to help out, we can help you.
But they were talking before they walked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing is like, even when Charles Manson got caught, like, they were sitting there for days going, what do we do with this guy?
Yeah.
It didn't know.
Now, in that situation, it was the directives that he made. That he made directives to have the LaBianca and Tate invasions and problems. So that's really what caused him to be associated. But again, it wasn't that all members of the cult, or they didn't disband the cult. You know, that's just not. There's no legal avenue for that I'm aware of.
The reason I bring it up is because, like, before he got arrested, way before any of the murders or anything, he actually, like, they knew who he was. They knew he was involved. The people that met up with them often would refer to him as the Charles Manson.
Yep.
Him and his children, but they all said it's a cult.
Correct. But that it could be named that. That's fine. You know.
Well, I mean, he didn't name himself a cult, but people knew.
Or even if people classify it as a cult,
yeah.
There is nothing that I know of that statutorily says you can't create cults.
Right.
What you really have to do is you have to hit the behavior. And it's sort of like the idea that it's not illegal to have a mob or a mafia. And I apologize if I'm offending anybody that's Italian.
Half Italians, you're fine. Go ahead.
But the idea that it's not illegal to be a mob, it's illegal to have continuous criminal activity. And that's really what you're going to be able to have here, is the idea that if we could figure out a way to show the continuous criminal activity, the human trafficking, the child abuse, the body routing, I'm sorry, the elder abuse, the financial fraud, then we can get there.
Well, that's the whole thing is.
You like our new cult? So.
Would you like to join a cult? They don't call it this one.
They did. They said, oh, look at it. Here comes Jessica. The blonde one. She's coming out from behind that sign right now. So
That's
the one coming across.
That's the one that went in.
Yeah, so that's Jessica. Yeah, I don't want to have a cold. If you want out at any time, we can help you.
Oh, look at that.
Up and Anastasia, nice handoff.
That's why she was on the phone. They were planning it.
Very possible.
Anastasia, I loved your movie they made about you. Mickey Mouse was spot on.
Howdy. All right, let me see if they've tried to push out the backside. I'll be back in just a second. Right, so we've got Nora and Natalie, Aaron, and Windy. We call it WAN. Windy, Aaron, Natalie, Nora. Hello, Toronto. Welcome in, Kimmy. It is coming up on 1:30, and I think at 1:30, unless we see some activity, we might go ahead. Corn Freak would be one, so Corn Freak DBSC. Hellgear. Juanita has an interesting name, so you'll have to get. I'm going to have to ask the mods to help me out with that. All right, there's a lot of activity. So there's several suits at the bottom of the bottom of the alley, or there's several people dressed in dark. Yeah, they're Scientologists, but they're not passing stuff out. The one is leaving with a white bag on his hip. I might try to run down there. Yeah, it's got to be over 200 now. I think it was 190 last week. I'm sure there's 200 by now. All right. I just want to make sure that that person didn't have a satchel full of flyers. So I'm going to go ahead and run down I might go down the private alley. I'm making fuzzy work overtime today. Yeah, I can't remember what Juanita's is other than it starts with TET. And then Never and Nana is another one. And I just want to say that it's some of the most, the women in Chicago that are protesting, just some of the most courageous women I know. That they're fearless. And they push boundaries. Let me see here. Can you see if they had anything in their if they had anything in their hands? Because like I said, I saw somebody with a white satchel over their shoulders, and that white satchel is somewhat like what they did for the darn it, Way to Happiness book. Hey, I'll eat more pizza when I want to. You're not the boss of me. But welcome in, eat more pizza. By the way, if you were here on opening day, this is the alley that the police, or this is the parking lot, and this is the alley that the police pushed the protesters out of. Hey, Danny, how are you? So right now we're behind Imprint, and if you had a car and you were an Imprint, this is your the garages that you would be able to exit through. And there are a couple of doors, so they can get out the back of Imprint. I just don't see them do that much. Hello, Darth Beaver. That's a name I don't remember seeing before. Welcome in. So it's been a little bit slow here today. The Pre-Xenu project was out here very early, and he caught the body routers early. I caught somebody over at the theater near the Hilton Hotel, and he claimed that he'd seen Scientologists over here passing out flyers with money stuffed inside. Yeah, I'm not seeing the person that exited the bottom of the alley. Oh, copyright, 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 copyright. Hopefully I caught that in time. Yeah, so somebody definitely did walk out of the bottom of the alley, but I can't, I don't see them anymore. Ah, gotcha. Thank you, Danny. Hey, Danny, did anything happen with the aggressive police action towards you and Leah the other night, and Laura as well? So it's 100% more staff that we'll see in this. So copyright, copyright. I'm doing a little song here, but I can't do any singing because I suck at singing. It's 100% more staff. That there will be public here. We've definitely seen that. You know, we saw today. We saw the father with the 3 kids. Now, one of those 3 kids was with a uniformed member earlier. So it's probably one of those situations where one of the partners works a normal job that makes a living wage, and the other partner is on staff here. We seen 3 or 4 people that were in here for purification today. When we saw the person walk in with Izzy earlier, he was a public, but it's probably something like 4 to 1 staff to public. Yep. And we did have a visit from Joe Cool. Joe Cool came out on Saturday, and he spent time with each of the protesters. So that was awesome.
He just left. So well, you had to have gotten into
Yeah. What I did is I went down that alley because I saw somebody leave with a satchel going that direction, but it wasn't somebody who I normally see. So I think it was somebody like that had their books, you know, their courseware.
Yeah, some guy just left her doing his fake phone call.
Eat More Pizza saw it on your stream and he came over and told me. So hopefully that answers that question. Now, the Sea Org one's a much trickier one because you're not supposed to have Sea Org here. They most likely had Sea Org here to augment the staff while they opened and helped recruit. But my expectation is that the Sea Org should be gone by now. And we have seen a decrease in the number of members here. But again, you'll see, I would guess 35 members this morning walked past you. And I'm going to count, I'm definitely going to count it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't keeping track.
So
It seemed like quite a bit.
the staff here is rather sizable. This is no longer the forgotten org.
I mean, let's be fair. It's sizable, but it's not St. Code stuff.
If we think back about the legacy org that was up in Lakeview, we would see maybe 12 to 15 if you thought of the entire union of all the people. Now up there, we saw staff. We saw public much more than we saw staff. That we would see, and by the way, when I say we, it was Windy and Shannon. I'm sorry, it was Trashy and Shannon who were the first ones up there. And Trashy would be able to intercept people all the time. He just has that personality that he's able to converse with people. So
This is Windy City, Marie, and I'll see if one of my moderators can pop it up there for you. There's WindyCityThetanWatch.
Yep. What else do we have here?
When I get home, I'll actually put his link in the chat.
Yeah, no problem. I think at this point, you want to just kind of call it a day? Yeah, I think that we're probably just not going to see too much more activity here. They know we're out here. They're probably, bunkering down. They're going to outweight us. So maybe we'll go find some food, and I might pop back over here a little bit. I'll charge while we're eating food, and I might pop back over here on the way home. So I really appreciate everybody being here today. If the mods can help me out, and if we've got any other live chats out there, and by the way, don't pick Free Xenu Project. Let's go ahead and see if we can raid a room.
Yeah, and if one of my mods could look up who's online right now, see if we can do a win raid.
Yeah, 100%. You're absolutely correct, Patrick. So that did show that there was some Sea Org people that were here and they were part of the process to get the organization open. So we're going to go over to JDSA. JDSA.
I guess we're going to JDSA. So Eat More Pizza, if you can get JDSA's link to his live stream so we can everybody pop into there, that'd be cool.
And thank you, Fuzzy, for putting that in there. I really appreciate everybody being here. Let's go give Jay some love. Jay is one of my favorites out there in regards to his protesting style. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Maybe this afternoon, but probably tomorrow.